Anyway, welcome back to the AP podcast once again. So today we're going to be having a very great conversation concerning a girl called Hazel, and I hope that whatever we're going to speak today will help Hazel out in one way or another. If you have any comments, anything that you think Hazel should do concerning today's conversation, please drop it in the comment section and we will be able to help Hazel out. So Hazel, I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing good. And I hope that whatever we're going to say will help you out in one way or another. Remember that it is up to you to follow our advice or not. I believe that we'll be happy in our love lives. So anyway, I'm going to share with you Hazel's predicament, and with her permission, of course, and I hope that together we're going to help her out. And so here it goes. So Hazel is a girl who was in love with a certain guy called Victor, and they were quite in love, like literally and utterly in love. Though Victor had to go away. No, I'm talking about 8 years ago. See? So Victor had to go away, and so Hazel was left alone because Victor had gone to another country for further studies. Even though they were communicating like literally every day for the last 8 years, Victor kept telling Hazel that he'll come back for her, he's never gotten over her and all that. And so it happened that Victor came back, though things were not as Hazel had expected. See, 8 years later, Victor comes back, and remember that these two lovebirds were communicating every day for the last 8 years. And as Victor had said that he'd come back, he did come back, though things were quite different. Very different. And how different, you may ask? This is how different things were. Victor kept telling Hazel that he loves her and that he's going to come back for her and they're going to get married and all. And Hazel believed him. And so Hazel never dated anyone for the last 8 years, waiting for her long-lost love to come back and be together with her. So the thing is, Victor came back, but he came back with another girl and a child. He came back with another girl and a child, which gets me to think, why did he come back in the first place? I mean, he already has a family. He already has a life. Why would he come back to ruin Hazel's? And if he knew that he was going to go on with his life, why would he try to keep Hazel waiting for all those years? I mean, it's devastating, you know. It's inhumane on my part, and I'm so sorry about that, Hazel. So, after all that, Hazel was very heartbroken. But the thing is, Victor still seems interested in Hazel. And he's sorry, and he still wants to build a life with Hazel. And he thinks that she can coexist with his new girl, or rather his new wife, and their child. And now Hazel called me to ask whether she should consider going back with him, and they live like one big family. Now here is what I'm going to tell you, Hazel. I know you're hurting. I really do, dear. And I am sorry for that. But one thing I know, girl. Victor is not the guy for you. You deserve better than him. I mean, that guy took you for a fool. That guy pretended that he loved you and yet had a wife and a child. He moved on with his life while you waited for 8 good years for him to come back. And I know you feel like if you let this go, and if you let him go, the last 8 years will have been for nothing. I know that's how you feel, dear, and that maybe that's why you're considering going back with him. But if he did this to you, does he really care for you? Because if he loved you in the first place, he would have been honest with you. Secondly, he wouldn't have come back at all, because he knew that if you knew that he had a wife and a child, you'd be hurting. But he still came back. And him coming back has been hell for you. And that guy still claims that he loves you. Yet he has a wife and a child. Now, Hazel, no, please don't. Please, please don't. Victor thinks that you are that simple girl who is totally in love, which makes you kind of stupid, and that's why he thinks that you're going to fall into this trap. Because all Victor wants to do is use you. That's what he wants to do. And he's hurting you right now. Like, literally hurting you. So why on earth would you do something to make him happy? You preserved yourself for him. And he went and betrayed you. He went and found another girl and started a new life. And then he's coming back to ruin yours. Why would you let him? Why would you give him the satisfaction of seeing you? My advice to you is that don't go back with that guy. Don't go back to that guy. Let him continue with his own life. I know that someone is out there, someone who will be true to you, someone who will be honest, someone who will love you for who you are, someone who will not use you, someone who will give you his true love, real love, the kind of love that doesn't die. See? And so, as patient as you were waiting for Victor, he later on turned out as a disappointment. I urge you to continue being patient and the right guy will come by. And this time it will be different because for the last 8 years you weren't looking for someone else. Now this time you will be looking, and so you won't have to wait for that long. And I know that the guy out there is looking for you, and when you look for him, you will find each other and you will lead a long and happy, stress-free life. And that way you'll be able to get back at Victor, and he will see the kind of life that you would have led with him when he sees you with another guy. And that way you'll be able to get back at him because he's taking you for a fool, girl. Why on earth would that guy do that to you? Anyway, I'm not going to... Man. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say for today's podcast. And I hope that you're going to drop your comments and try to help Hazel out. Whatever you think Hazel should do, just drop it in the comment section and she will decide whether to follow it or not. Now remember, Hazel, you have your life in your hands and only you are the author of your life. You make the decisions of where you want your life to lead you. So make the right decision and make a wise choice. Remember, girl, we love you, alright? So do not allow this Victor guy to take you for a fool. Because obviously, you're not a fool and you're a girl who should be respected, who should be given the true kind of love. And so you deserve it just about like anyone else. So do not allow this guy to give you something that you do not deserve, to give you something that he thinks is good for you. You know what's good for you. And only you can want that for yourself. and only you can work to get that for yourself. Anyway, that's that. So that's that for today's podcast. I hope that you got something, and for those out there who are going through a similar situation as Hazel, I hope that you've heard that, and you're going to make the right decision. Anyway, playing up next is Richard Marx with Right